So I just saw the new Black Mirror Bandersnatch, and it was really cool. For those of you who don't know, Black Mirror is a British television series that was on Channel 4 for the first 2 seasons, and then picked up by Netflix for seasons 3 and 4. Each episode is its own contained story with different characters, so you can watch them in any order without being confused. It's basically a well-produced Twilight Zone-esque show, wherein each episode explores a dystopian concept related to technology. The episodes in seasons 1 and 2 are really hit or miss. Some of them are pretty cool, and some of them are just awful. Season 3 is fantastic, and I don't remember there being a single bad episode. And season 4 is pretty great, but not as consistently great as season 3. So if you haven't seen any Black Mirror episodes, I'd recommend starting with the Christmas special and then watching all of season 3. And if you like what you see from that, then check out everything else, because it's a pretty great show overall. Now, with Black Mirror being picked up by Netflix, it seems as though this latest project is one where they decided to utilize the platform to its greatest abilities. Black Mirror's Bandersnatch is essentially a choose-your-own-adventure game where you select what the character does through Netflix. Right away, I was intrigued by the concept. Not only is this a particularly uncommon way to present a film, but it's even more uncommon to have a talented team behind this kind of project. What I really love about Bandersnatch is just how meta it is. It doesn't take long to realize that this is not your typical interactive story. Unlike other choose-your-own-adventure style stories, this one actually gives a sense of purpose towards it being presented in this format. It's a very bizarre experience that will kind of fuck with your head. The way that this is presented, they definitely expect you to get a game over style ending. From there, it gives you options to go back and change to continue the narrative, and I was really happy that when they showed the same information for a second time, it was much more condensed. Rather than making you sit through everything you've already watched, it instead summarizes the information, and it makes for a much more pleasant viewing experience. This film also has a great sense of humor, but it does not take away from the overall creepy vibe. Some of the characters in this are thoroughly entertaining and super fun to watch, and even at points where they'd say the same things I'd already heard them say, I was still very entertained. The story in this film is fairly small scale and contained, so you shouldn't expect the whole narrative experience that you'd find in a traditionally presented film, but for what it was going for, I think it achieved everything fairly well. There was only really one character that I felt wasn't the best acted, but she didn't have much screen time. I think the biggest reason why I enjoyed this film is that it is a truly unique experience. Not everyone is going to enjoy this, but I think it's something that everyone should at least check out. I can definitely see some people feeling unfulfilled by the end of the experience, and I have to agree that I wish they did do more with it. If they ever do anything like this again, I hope that next time it's something on a larger scale, but regardless, it works for what it is, even if I wish there was something more. As far as I know, I watched every single possible combination of choices, and it was very interesting to see how the film changed based on the decisions that I was making. Anyway, I would recommend this film, even though I would start with the Black Mirror Christmas special if you haven't seen that yet. It was a very fun, experimental piece of art that I thoroughly enjoyed, and I'm giving this one a 7 out of 10.